look, man, it's the kid, man. So this is, in a little series that I'm going to do is called the scene breakdown. Just some of the classic scenes from films and just me pretty much breaking them down. And the first one here, this is a classic one. This is the iconic handshake scene involving your boy Dutch and your boy Dillon. So, as we can see here, you're looking at Dutch looking at the general there, smoking his stogie or his cigar here. See, this image of Dutch here just shows you what he's about. Because remember, prior to this scene, we saw about 3 or 4 or 5 of the toughest guys on the planet walk out of a helicopter. He was still inside that helicopter, the last man still there. So just by him smoking his cigar straight at the general's face, just shows that, look, man, I'm that dude. So that's just your boy Dutch saying that I'm that dude. So let's just play it and then I'll obviously stop it when I need to stop it. All right.
So why don't you use the regular army? What do you need us for?
So I'm going to stop that right there. So why didn't you use the regular army? What do you need us for? You see, once he says that, the general is thinking now. Because in his mind is like, look, I can't really reveal everything to you, but he knows that he knows. But also remember, the general also knows that your boy Dillon is in the back there. And obviously you obviously hear what Dillon says, so
Damn fool accused you.
What do you need us for?
Cause some damn fool accused you of being the best.
can you see where Dillon is sitting? Dillon was sitting there for ages, having his glass. So by him just sitting back there, he's trying to make a point to Dutch. Because these guys, they know each other. But look at how your boy Dillon is sitting there. And also, by the way, his shirt is like about four sizes too small for him just to accentuate his muscles. Look, this is just 80s mentality. But by Dillon sitting in the back there, in the shadows by himself, because he could have easily met Dutch standing up. But he was trying to make a point because this is a perfect precursor to one of the most iconic scenes in cinema, is by Dillon making his entrance to Dutch like this.
Being the best.
So you see, the funny thing about this is, look at his face. Look at that face. Because I remember when I first saw it, I was like, he must recognize that voice. But why does he look like if he's trying to bite someone's earlobe off? Because because it sort of confused me, but it just shows you what kind of man that Dutch was. Because normally you'd be like, oh, what? But that face was like, who the heck said that? So it actually began menacing before knowing who it was.
Dillon!
Look at how happy Dutch is. Just look at how happy Dutch is to see his best friend, man. For Dillon! Amazing. Okay.
You son of a bitch.
Every time I see this scene, I always go, ugh. Look at the definition. You see, this is one of the most iconic images in cinema. Just this image right here is one of the most iconic images in cinema. People say this is actually what's cured or solved racism. But when you just look at, remember, this is Annie years after Mr. Universe and Mr. Olympia. Look at the definition of that muscle, and look at his as well. But just wait, let's just rewind because you just listen to the sound that is made. See, that sound of flesh upon flesh, fist upon fist, just fully illustrates the brotherhood and the kind of friendship that they have. So let's just rewind that.
You son of a bitch. son of a bitch.
Oh, it's like steel. Like it's like hard steel. How the just collide. Just how shout out to John McTiernanan, iconic director of this. How he just captured this image, just this image here, just as a scene, just as a picture, as a visual, is iconic. Speaking of which, I think I might actually put this as my wait. Yeah, I think I might actually put this as my screensaver. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I think I might actually make this my screensaver. Sure. Okay.
What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
You see, you can see that they're both. It's both an amicable hand wrestle, but there is still competition within it. Because Dillon knows that Dutch is stronger, but based on the relationship and their friendship, he can't just back down. So even if he's smiling about it, that whole thing of like, we've not met each other for ages, but how we actually greet each other is by this handshake, just shows you how iconic this is.
Huh?
And look at that. Basically, this was just peak Annie. Just by him, by his smile and his smirk, just showed you what he was about. Because this is easy for him. Dillon is trying all his hardest, but this is easy for Annie stroke Dutch. But again, just shows you the nature of the relationship, which is that look, bro, I'm always that strong dude, and I will always show my macho bravado-ness. All right.
Had enough?
Make it easy on yourself, Dutch. Okay.
Never did know when to quit, huh?
I'm good to see you, Dutch.
Look, I just basically it's just that transition of the kind of tense competition of the handshake stroke hand wrestle and just going back to like, yo man, we're just boys. We've not seen each other for ages. Just that whole transition of that's what I just find it just fascinating personally.
What is this fucking Thai business?
Oh, come on, forget about my time, man. I heard about that little job you pulled off in Berlin. Very nice, Dutch.
Good old days, yeah.
But see, also many people may not realize it, but this is what I realized when I was watching the documentary. So Arnie used to actually sit in on Carl Weathers' scenes because Arnie was taking acting lessons and was being inspired for how to make the right acting choices from Carl Weathers. So Carl Weathers actually did a lot to coach Arnie acting on this. But I just think that look, when you just look at that scene, I think because it's beyond just the handshake. So people just look at the handshake and the muscles and everything. It's what precedes it and what comes afterwards. It's how, and again, it is brilliant directing by John McTiernanan, who is an iconic director. Last Action Hero, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Hunts for Red October. Iconic director. And just how he's just able to, just to create this scene, because it could have been very cheesy, but what makes that handshake so iconic is how just by visuals and directing and not using too much dialogue is how he's able to fully accentuate the nature of their bond. Because again, we don't really know what their past is fully. We don't know how they've known each other. But just through this, you're just able to really form. Basically, it's leaving things with the imagination. You leave things with the imagination when you're not spoon fed everything like you are to today. It's because when you just come away from the scene, you're like, man, what did Dutch and Dillon do back in the day? And even when he says, what is with this Thai business? That's giving you much more of an insight into what those two are doing, i.e., Dillon was down and dirty and was a warrior, just like Dutch. So Dutch is surprised that, hey, why the hell would you be wearing a tie? Because I know who you are. But we don't have to be given all those details. Just by that handshake that they had showed you who Dillon used to be and how Dutch used to view Dillon, which is why it is so strange for Dillon to be wearing this, because people who wear ties and in the whole tie business, suit and tie, don't shake someone like that with a flipping handshake. So yeah, iconic, superb scene from an iconic, superb movie.